It's Friday, March 21st.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win, baby.
I want to bring it home, and that's why we need to put Canada first.
Get ready to hear a lot more of both of those things. Party leaders are sharpening their messages before an election call expected to come Sunday.
Feeling today.
The overall idea is to protect students from any religious indoctrination.
Going further, Quebec expanding its secularism law to the point of banning students from wearing face coverings.
Well, everything was normal right up until about the 150-foot mark.
Preliminary report. The TSB releasing its early findings into last month's Delta Airlines crash at Pearson Airport. A possible factor in this crash is how quickly the plane was descending.
How do you literally turn the airport back on again, passenger and cargo?
Global disruptions. A nearby fire shuts down Heathrow Airport, causing planes to turn around midair and travel headaches that are going to last for days. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada, and welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
And I'm Kelsey McEwen. Hope your Friday is off to a wonderful start.
Yeah, happy Friday. Lots to get to. Our federal party leaders are getting ready for an election call that, by the way, that election call is expected to come on Sunday.
The first person who will know whether the recommendation to call an election, it will be the Governor General.
In a campaign-style appearance, Prime Minister Mark Carney skated with the Oilers and made a housing announcement in Edmonton yesterday. While Mark Carney wouldn't confirm reports of a snap election call, sources have told CTV News that the Prime Minister will ask the Governor General to dissolve Parliament Sunday. That means Election Day would be either April 28th or May the 5th. Opposition leaders are already in campaign mode.
We need to put Canada first. It's time to bring home our jobs, energy, and economic sovereignty.
Who's going to prioritize working families over billionaires? That answer is very simple.
So the U.S. trade war and dealing with 4 years of the Trump administration will likely dominate this campaign. Calling an election would allow the Liberals to avoid recalling Parliament and an expected confidence vote. You can watch CTV News' special coverage of the election call, hosted by chief anchor and senior editor Omar Sachedina and chief political correspondent Vashi Capellos. That is coming up this Sunday on CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Carney met with Alberta Premier Danielle Smith in Edmonton.
She's made it crystal clear that she's a political opponent of Mark Carney's, that she opposes the re-election of the Liberal government, and that she'll do everything she can, fighting tooth and nail against their efforts.
Premier Smith didn't speak with reporters Thursday, but said this in a press release, quote, "We had a very frank discussion in which I made it clear that Albertans will no longer tolerate the way we've been treated by the federal Liberals over the past 10 years. She's also made a list of demands the next federal government must address or risk, quote, a national unity crisis. All 9 of the demands are related to the province's oil and gas industry. In a press conference later in the day, Prime Minister Carney voiced support for the industry, including building pipelines. The Quebec government is expanding its religious symbols ban. Muslim leaders say the bill misses the point.
The fact of the matter is, how somebody looks or how somebody's dressed doesn't affect the secularism of the state in any way, shape, or form.
Quebec's move to expand its Secularism Act puts a ban on religious symbols for anyone who interacts with students in schools, and that includes teachers, cafeteria workers, volunteers as well. The bill also prohibits face coverings for staff and students in public and private schools. In response, the Quebec Liberals say the bill is a step too far. The Parti Québécois says it doesn't go far enough. Quebec's CAQ government is not using the notwithstanding clause to sidestep any constitutional challenges. We're learning more about the crash of a Delta Airlines flight in Toronto last month.
About 150 feet, they're pulling back on the power, also starting to level out the aircraft to reduce the descent rate. But that didn't happen. The descent rate actually increased. So it begs to wonder what was going on in the cockpit.
Aviation expert Phil Doherty says normally pilots flare the nose of the aircraft right before touchdown, which slows the rate of descent. A preliminary report says that didn't happen. The plane was descending far too quickly in the final few seconds. The TSB released a video detailing the chain of events, describing how the landing gear failed, the plane rolled onto its side. Passengers on the plane said everything seemed normal until the final few seconds. The TSB says their final report isn't expected for some time. London's Heathrow Airport is shut down all day because of a power outage caused by a fire. So this fire broke out at an electrical substation. This is near the airport. Backup power has also been disrupted. London Fire is calling this a, quote, prolonged incident, with disruptions expected to increase. This is the first time in 15 years that Heathrow has been completely shut down. And it's obviously causing huge travel backups around the world.
If you think about the number of flights that come into London every day from Hong Kong, from Dubai, from LA, from New York, it's massive.
This closure affects more than 1,300 flights in and out of Heathrow. Hundreds of planes heading to London from around the world were forced to turn around mid-flight. Train service around the airport also being disrupted. Heathrow is Europe's busiest airport. Officials say the disruptions are expected to last 4 days. And while the airport is closed, travelers are being told not to show up under any circumstances. A tough night for our Canadian men as they fell 2-0 to Mexico in the CONCACAF Nations League semifinal.
No, I wouldn't say it's a setback. It's a learning step. You know, we came against a good Mexican side. I mean, they played well. They, like you said, they capitalized on their chances, and yeah, we can take this loss as a learning, you know, and move on to the next one.
Captain Alphonso Davies sees the result as a lesson going forward. You heard that. It was a terrible start for Canada, we're going to say. Mexico scoring in the first minute. Shortly after that, Canada also was not awarded what seemed to be a penalty, and Mexico instead was given a free kick on the play. Canada will play the U.S. in the third-place match on Sunday.
Played through and driven in! Waterman, the substitute, with the goal! With just a minute left to play!
So Panama will be facing Mexico in Sunday's final after a shocking 1-0 win over the U.S. They scored with their only shot on target, which didn't come until the final moments of their game. Their goal scorer also celebrating with his idol, Thierry Henry, who was on the sidelines working on the CBS broadcast. That's so funny. Both the CONCACAF Nations League third-place match and the final will be on TSN. You can watch it on Sunday. The Northern Super League kicks off in less than a month, and clubs are now launching their 2025 kits. Rossi? Roses de Montreal feature red and blue on their home and away kits. AFC Toronto's home kit is very red. There it is. We're still waiting on an away one. Halifax Tides. The shirts look like ocean waves under a night sky. Yeah. The black and deep blues and greens in Ottawa's shirt are meant to be a tribute to the rugged landscape of the area. The purple and red on... Where are we at now? Which one's this one? Oh, Calgary, yeah. Purple and red on Calgary is a reminder of the dusk sky in Canada's sunniest city. Speaking of sun,